Okay, now this should be an interesting one. 10 reasons the USA is better than Europe. This is The World According to Briggs, the YouTube channel we never checked out before. Make sure you subscribe, guys. Most recent subscribers down below. Let's dive straight into this and see why the USA is better than Europe. I'm glad it's not just England, you know, it's all of Europe. So
what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to World According to Briggs and a video about why the United States is so much better than Europe. This video came about after getting emails from Europeans for close to 3 years now telling me why the US sucks and Europe is so much better. I get these all the time. They often bring up some good, valid points, but they also like to hint at things like we're all just rude, arrogant, and dumb. That can be true.
See, I always had the perception that Americans are more friendly than Europeans, especially the French. If we're saying all of Europe, you're definitely friendlier than the French.
True about Americans, but that could be true about anyone. It's not like Americans have cornered the market on being rude. These people always act like they have it so much better in Europe, and the only thing the US has ever done was start wars. Honestly, that's like the general theme. That's what they always seem to go to, is we start wars.
Europeans shouldn't be saying anything about America's starting wars. We definitely have more of a history with war than America does.
But US does have some bad things. The US has some great things, just like Europe. Every country, every town, every village, and every neighborhood has its good and its bad. If you don't understand that, you're kind of dumb. So let's take a look in no particular order at some things that make the US a far better option than Europe.
Let's get into it. Number
10, World Wars. We don't have them. We never have. We hopefully never will. We just don't have world wars here in the United States. We've had a civil war and we've had some other things. And before you do, stop typing. Yes, Pearl Harbor was part of World War II and it was on American soil, but that was just an attack that took a couple hours. The Japanese also did take hold of some rock outcropping we had in the Bering Sea near Alaska. They stayed there for a couple months.
I'm diving in very quick on this one, but you were part of the World War, right? You guys always claim that you saved us. You always say you saved England in the World War.
We didn't even try and chase them out. But when it comes to world wars, no real combat on American soil other than those.
Okay.
We've joined other wars. Matter of fact, we joined 2 world wars in Europe to help Europe. I don't know if you Europeans remember, but there was this German guy with a funny little mustache, and he had plans for all of Europe and pretty much the entire world. If it wasn't for the United States, there's a good chance his dream would have come true.
Hello.
Over 100,000 U.S. servicemen lost their lives in combat during World War II. In World War I, it was about 116,000. So we may have started some wars in our history, but we sure have helped out Europe with a couple of theirs. And from the looks of it, might be a third one on the way.
You have definitely helped out in the World Wars. That's not gone unnoticed in our history books as well in England, that America did help us out there. What I was going to say, so his point was that the world wars don't happen on American territory, which I get. That is a reason why USA is better than Europe. I'll give you that one.
Number 9, amusement parks. That World War II thing, World War I, was kind of depressing, so let's look at amusement parks. We excel at amusement parks. Europe has some wonderful things to do, don't get me wrong, but we set the bar for amusement parks.
I bet you do.
Six Flags, amusement parks, our water parks, Disneyland, Disney World, Cedar Point, Hershey Park, Busch Gardens, Universal, King's Dominion, Kings Island, and one of my personal favorites growing up was Knott's Berry Farm. It's not the biggest and it's not one of the best, but it's just got a place in my heart, so it gets a mention. Euro Disney's nice, Euro Park, Port Aventura, Future Scope, those are all nice, but it's nothing compared to what we got going on here in the United States. Okay, Legoland started in Europe, and that's pretty cool. We got some here in the United States, but we still blow everyone out of the water when it comes to amusement parks.
Again, with this one, I can imagine he's telling the truth. I've not been to America yet, so I've not got to sample your amusement parks, but from what I hear from other people, you guys do blow us out of the water. Universal Studios, I always hear a lot about, and of course, Disney World, is it called over there in Florida? So yeah, I imagine he's right with that one. You guys do that things bigger and better. I'm not the biggest lover of theme parks. I like them. I like roller coasters. I hate rides. I don't know if anyone else relates to that. Roller coasters, I'm there for. A ride where it just like puts you up in the air and spins you around. I don't want none of that.
Number 8, the U.S. economy. If you don't know, the U.S. economy is huge. It's by far the biggest economy in the world. The United States annual GDP is about $21 trillion. In a distant second, you have China with an annual GDP of $14.72 trillion. After that, you got Japan with $5.06 trillion GDP. At number 4, you get your first European country, and it's Germany. They only have a $3.85 trillion annual
I think
GDP.
Germany would be the
Then
highest.
the United Kingdom is 2.76, and then after that, you got India, and then finally France, 2.63, Italy, 1.89.
We're tiny though. Come on now. Come on. We're tiny compared to you guys. This isn't a fair comparison. Yeah, China's a fair comparison because you're both massive countries.
And if you look outside of countries, the state of California would come in 5th place with 3.4 trillion. So my question to the Europeans are, if we suck that bad, why do we make so much money? And feel free to leave comments about how we're corrupt and we take advantage of other countries like your countries don't also.
You take advantage of other
Number
countries.
7, our technology.
He's making good points so far. I got nothing to say. He's got me up against the wall here.
The United States has invented most of the really cool stuff. Sure, Europe has come up with the
I'm from Manchester. We invented the computer. Suck on that one.
guillotine and the Iron Maiden.
And
But
the
United
computer.
States has come up with things like the personal computer in 1971, the
you
Weed
didn't.
Whacker in 1971, 1972.
We did the computer. Manchester did the computer. I'm sure we did. I've been told that somewhere. Manchester invented the computer.
We came up with the video game console.
Maybe I'm wrong.
72 also gave us the MRI. 73 gave us the cell phone. This is all before 1980. In 1978, we invented microwave popcorn. 1986, we gave you the 3D printer. 1996, we gave you Google. 2005, we gave you YouTube. I should say 2004, we gave you Facebook also, but that's kind of working against us these days, it seems like. Along with in 2006, Twitter showed up. We also gave you the COVID-19 vaccine. I know some of you don't think that was a good thing, but a lot of people do. If you want to go way back, 1938, we invented the chocolate chip cookie. Take that, Europe, you and your croissant. Number 6, gas prices. Your gas prices suck, Europe, face it. I know you go by liters.
Facts. Gas prices suck. But we don't call it gas over here.
And we're going to break it down for gallons, which we use here in the United States, and
we don't use
dollars,
gallons either.
Okay? I found a nice little chart that breaks it down as of May 1st, 2022. The highest gas prices in the world right now is Hong Kong, and it is $10.87 on average per gallon of gas. Norway, it's 9.13 for a gallon of gas. Monaco, it's $9 a gallon of gas. Iceland, $8.75. Denmark, $8.69. Finland, $8.64, Greece, $8.38, Netherlands, $8.33, Germany, $7.91, United Kingdom, $7.70. The list goes on. Sweden, $7.69, Liechtenstein, $7.66, Estonia, $7.55, Switzerland, $7.47. This list goes on. You know where the United States is? 84th in the world, with $4.58 on average countrywide. Now, this is the point where a bunch of people here in the United States are going to leave some political comment or how they just paid $5.10 in Los Angeles or something. This is the national average. Good thing you people in Europe like to ride bikes everywhere.
I reckon the average American drives twice as far as the average UK person, though. Not even just because of, like, it's not like people cycle. Your country's just way bigger. So your gas prices are a lot lower for sure. That's a very positive thing, but I bet you guys still spend more money on gas than we do, just in terms of how far you guys travel.
Number 5, fast food. Now, this is a strange one, I know, because fast food isn't really something you should be proud of, but I will tell you right now, every single European I know, that's one of the first things they say is our fast food is amazing. The variety and the flavor is awesome. You have great food in Europe. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that. You have a lot of really classic cuisine. You know, I mean, the Italian stuff you got going on in Italy, France, amazing. I could really do without German food, but still, you know. But Americans that go over there, they bring that up all the time, and Europeans that come over here talk about how amazing our fast food is. Again, it's unhealthy. It's probably why we're one of the largest countries in the world as far as chubby people go, but still, it tastes great. We have a wide variety. It's something that's kind of awesome.
Fair play again. I can't argue. I've got no argument with that one.
Number 4, modern music. Jazz, blues, rock and roll, rap, hip hop. As far as modern music goes, it all started here, and anything that was done in Europe was basically a new version of something that came from the United States. Prove me wrong.
The Beatles, man. The Beatles. What is my man saying? Come on now. Come on then.
Now, if you go way back in music, Mozart, Wagner, Chopin, Bach.
This
Those
one's
are
a
all
shocking
great,
take.
but what have they done for us lately? I mean, they haven't done much for us lately because they all died
It's
like
a
in
shocking
the
take,
early 1900s or late 1800s or even earlier than that. They haven't done much for us lately. But modern music is where the United States shines. What is considered to be the first rock and roll song ever was done by Ike Turner and Jackie Preston. They wrote a song called Rocket 88, and that is considered to be the first rock and roll song ever. If it wasn't for that, and then Elvis taking that type of music, and Buddy Holly and people like that, we wouldn't have had the Beatles or the Rolling Stones or some version of that. Again, don't get me wrong, there has been some amazing modern music that's come out of Europe, but yeah, we started it.
I'm not on board with that one at all. It's the first one that's got me in my feelings there. Nah, you guys have big artists, obviously, but that's because English is one of the most spoken languages in the world. But you go to Korea, they don't care about your music. You go to China, they don't care about your music. England, we have our own massive artists, you know, our Adeles and Ed Sheerans and that whatnot. It's not my personal taste, but we've had Oasis, man. Stone Roses, come on now. This one's a poor take. That's just because the American bubble, that one is the American bubble. I'm not having that one.
Number 3,
Not having it.
the landscapes. Now this one's
Keep Drake. Don't want him. He's Canadian anyway, actually. Who do? Bieber? Is he American or is he Canadian as well? Keep Cardi B. I don't want
going
to.
to be up for an opinion because Europe does have the Alps, amazing rivers like the Rhine, Lake Como, and other amazing lakes, the Azores, Tuscany, the Greek
Again,
Isles.
you
Those
win
are all
this one,
great, but it doesn't
landscapes.
compare to the sheer volume that we have here in the United States.
so many
with
different
places like
biomes.
Yosemite, Arches, the Great Smoky Mountains, the Rocky Mountains, the Great Lakes, the Everglades, Death Valley, the giant sequoias, the redwoods, Yellowstone National Park, the Badlands, the Grand Canyon,
Badlands.
the entire state of Oregon outside of Portland. That list can go on about amazing landscapes to see here in the United States. Europe does have some good ones, but just in sheer volume and numbers and things to see, we're a bigger country and we have amazing landscapes. So
The problem he's got here is he's doing Europe as a whole. Now, I think if you chose any individual European country and compared it to America, America would win. To say that America has better landscapes than the whole of Europe is pretty insane thing to do. Because I think Europe has some better mountain ranges than America in terms of like the Alps. Deserts, I'm not sure. Desert, that kind, yeah, you probably win there. But then there's some like beautiful lakes in Italy and the south of France and stuff. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one to do landscapes as a whole. There's probably some very nice beaches that can compete with America in Portugal and Spain and Greece. You know what I mean? To say that they have better landscapes than the whole of Europe is pretty... I don't know if I can give you that one, you know? Don't think I can.
So we get the win, in my opinion, on that one. Now, to be fair, if we start looking at amazing buildings, ancient buildings and stuff, Europeans got us killed there. But, you know, I mean, the Colosseum, Eiffel Tower, Big Ben, so many other ones. We have nothing that compares to that, but our land and our natural beauty is, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, so much better. Taxes. Everyone in the United States always seems to think they have the highest taxes. Not even close. The United States is ranked 44th. If you take what the United Nations considers a country and you rank them by how much they tax their citizens, this is how they're ranked. The Ivory Coast, for some reason, they're just taxing the hell out of everyone. But it's followed by Finland, Japan, Austria, Denmark, Sweden, Belgium, Israel, Slovenia, Netherlands, Portugal, Ireland, Spain, Iceland, China gets in there, Germany, United Kingdom, France, South Africa, South Korea, Australia, then we go back to Luxembourg, Greece, Italy.
This could get tricky. I don't know about all the countries, but a lot of the countries you mentioned do give free healthcare, which is where a large portion of your taxes do go. It's still high, and the free healthcare isn't always great, but that could also be a reason
Turkey,
there.
which is not really in Europe, but you get the idea. And then after that, it goes down a while and you start seeing things like Switzerland, Monaco, Norway. And finally, way down there at number 44, you get to the United States. Here in the United States, we complain about our taxes an awful lot, especially how they're slanted towards the rich, really don't pay that much taxes. And if you're middle class or below, you're getting gouged. That's how we see it. But if you rank them on a global scale, the United States isn't doing that bad. But that top 20 is filled with a lot of European countries. All right, before we get to number one, don't forget.
Again, he kind of skipped over that, but a lot of those European countries are giving free healthcare. You know what I mean? You do have to take that into account for sure. Shopping.
I'm sure a lot of you are a little shocked, but shopping is one of the biggest complaints Americans that move to Europe have about Europe, and Europeans that come to the United States, they love how easy it is to shop. Now, it's not just ease or whatever, it's convenience and actually customer service. Customer service really doesn't seem to be much of a thing in Europe, according to most people that have moved over there. Or
It's not, and I love it. I love it. I hate when I'm in a restaurant and someone's like overly chatty with me or just wants to keep asking me how everything is. I'm like, I'm fine. If I have a problem, I'll ask you. If I'm in a shop, I don't want someone following me around asking me questions. Leave me alone. That's the British way. Leave me alone. Let me do my thing. If I really, really need help, there's a good chance I won't ask for it. But if I really, really, really need help, I will ask for the help. That's when you come into play. Until that moment, leave me alone.
or visited. What we would consider rude here in the United States really is kind of normal in Europe when it comes to someone working at a retail place or a grocery store, something like that.
don't
They
wanna
don't
be
really see it
greeted.
as rude. It's just very transactional to them and matter of fact. All right, that's today's video. Okay, if you've made it this far, here's the thing. Europe is a great continent. The countries there are amazing, but for some reason, they seem to think that there's nothing wrong with all of Europe and just the United States has problems. And that's going by the emails and the comments that I get on a regular basis. Now, some of you might be saying, well, why didn't you break it down by country? Well, is that fair? Look how big the United States is compared to, let's say, Germany.
Which ones would I disagree with on here, right? The first ones I agree with. Amusement parks. The war one, he made a good point. Your price of gas. Technology, like a lot of tech has come from America. In compared to the whole of Europe, I'm not sure. I don't know. In compared to the whole of Europe, though, that's tough. The gas one, yeah, clear winner. Fast food, probably give you that, you know what I mean? You can have that one. Music, big, oh man, that one ground my gears there. You guys have some good music. I listen to some American bands. But come on now. Landscapes, I would say, like I said, any European country, 1v1 versus America. It's a tough call. Like, America's got that. Europe as a whole continent, we didn't even speak about Iceland, man. Iceland has some fantastic landscapes. Come on. You can't say that America has better landscapes than the whole of Europe put together. So I'm not having that one either. Tax, I don't know. I know every state's different tax-wise, so it depends where you live. What state. But the main one's music and landscapes that I'm a bit stuck on. You let me know down in the comments below what you thought about this video. Do you agree with his points? Do you disagree with any of them? And I will see you for the next video. Until then, take it easy. Peace.